I've been tattooing for almost 4 years.
In studios, 15 years. Doing stuff with homemade machinery, stuff like that. About 20, right in there. 6.
Taught myself everything. There's a lot of work.
I actually went out to Louisiana for a couple weeks, and I learned from a guy named Bill Pogue, and he's a instructor slash tattoo artist. He's like 60 years old. So I went out there and I was with like 18 other kids, and basically showed us everything from the diseases that can be spread through tattooing, all the way to technique and how to blend colors and apply it to the skin and stuff like that. So I didn't do a formal apprenticeship. I actually kind of learned from someone like hands-on. So.
My training life
I had to do a 2-year apprenticeship, so I didn't like tattoo at all. I basically had to like clean bathrooms and be a servant and buy food for everyone. It was awful. I got shot with paintball guns every time I messed up. I had to wear tutus to like go shop for shop supplies. It's horrible. Worst experience ever.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was it?
Little Grim
18,
Reaper.
and it was this one here on my arm, some sparrows and some roses. I got it from my grandparents. When they passed away within 3 years of each other, so it was kind of like a memorial piece.
I got my first tattoo when I was like 14, 15, probably 14, and it was tribal armbands. It was so awesome. Back in the 90s, everybody got tribal armbands. I was one of them.
So there's no like significance to it, it's just cool?
Absolutely not. It's not even cool. I've covered them up and had them removed. But back in 1990, it was like doing your hair like a Guido, same thing. We all got tribal armbands. It was awesome. I'm not in a tribe. I never was in a tribe. So it really was totally pointless.
15. I got a little skull on my chest.
I was 14. It was a band logo on my chest.
What band?
Circle Jerks, punk rock band, 1980-ish.
First tattoo, an upside down cross when I was 13.
I didn't want to do manual labor anymore.
Okay.
And I don't consider this work.
I've kind of always liked art. I've kind of always drawn, and kind of figured if I could make a living off of putting my art on someone's skin, why not?
I've always been an artist, and it just seemed like the right thing to do. I've been doing it ever since. My love of art. I paint. It's my true love, and I love creating art and watching people walk away happy.
I was in the military and law enforcement before, and I really just was sick and tired of being in a uniform getting yelled at. So I found the polar opposite thing of being in a uniform getting yelled at.
Something different for everybody. There's it's kind of like the whole art and medical side kind of all mixed into one. I've been into that since, let's see, 11 years old roughly. I'm going on 39 in November. Been a little bit.
HIV and hepatitis C are your 2 main, and tuberculosis.
This day and age, it's like really challenging to spread diseases through the needles. We use one-time use stuff where we just like throw it away as soon as we're done. Most shops do it. Our shop does specifically, and I do every single time. So it's impossible to spread it through the needles. You can spread disease through cross-contaminating like this marker. When I'm done with it, I have to throw it away. Because now that it's been used on her, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So there are some potential risks, possibly. HIV, tuberculosis, most everything dies as soon as it makes contact with the air. So as soon as it becomes oxygenated, it's kaput. So for the most part, we don't have a huge risk factor. More than anything, it's bacteria infections. It's like staph, MRSA, pneumonia, stuff like that. It's pretty serious and can be passed back and forth. And then hepatitis is serious. It's on the surface for 45 days. So like, if somebody had hepatitis and it got on my marker, and I didn't throw my marker away, and I use that marker on the next person, it doesn't take much whatsoever, and it stays alive for 45 days on anything. So hepatitis is probably the big one, for sure. Outside of that, it's pretty hard to.
Lately, all the above. You know, it's pretty much, I do a lot of it all. You know, a lot of color, a lot of black and gray. Things go into various sessions, so, I mean, I always start with one. You can always add to a piece. You know, it's harder to darken, you know, of course, or, I mean, harder to lighten. You can, you know, darken things easy enough. You know, for sure. You can always add to a piece. You know, a piece of art's never finished, only abandoned. You know, got that quote, what, Salvador Dali, you know, what have you. And pretty much sticks with this trade as well as painting or any other kind of artistic medium.
And then how often do you freehand?
All the time. I've been working with drawing on skin. Everything is, you know, custom made. Either, yeah, it's all kind of, you know, built from scratch right here.
90% of everything I do is freehand and custom.
Whatever. It varies. Like today, I won't use any color at all on anyone. Yesterday, I used color all day. I didn't do anything but color stuff.
Do those vary in price? Like, is your tattoo more expensive if you do color?
No, I mean, every artist is different. Like, you know, we all price our art according to what we think it's valued at. So every artist's charge is different. Some guys do charge more for color. I personally do not.
Okay. Do you usually freehand?
Probably 9 out of 10.
Person wants and where it is on the body. So.
And do you use more color ink or black and white?
I'd say around here, a lot of people like both. I mean, they like the grayscale or, you know, lots of colors, or, you know, it goes both ways. It's kind of 50-50.
What's the most common?
It used to be butterflies, but
For
not
girls.
anymore.
Probably, that's a good question. Probably tribal or a name.
Ooh, most common, like skulls.
Skulls?
Yeah.
Tribal or like butterflies and flowers. Yeah, or hearts or something like that. That's usually what a lot of people like for some reason. So.
Too many to count.
Too many to count. Okay.
Working my way to one.
When did?
Total like 9, I think. Pretty big ones. So.
I got almost a whole body suit.
Yeah.
One big one, and it's just not finished yet.
Oh, okay.